Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Boy, do we have a big show for you guys tonight. We've got offensive bingo cards and ducks and fans and vapes and new ships and no power. We're going to talk about some weather. We have a special guest coming, I hope. Maybe we'll see, be able to connect with him after the weather. So stick around. We have a big show. Again, hello, everybody. I am your host, Robert, a.k.a. The Tall Man. My lovely wife, Lisa, a.k.a. Mrs. Tall Man. Not that anyone ever calls her that. She will be with us in a little bit. She is finishing up work for us tonight, and so she can't be here. We want to thank each and everyone for being with us tonight. Thank you so much. Let's get on with the show. But of course, before we get into it, we've got to bring up balcony cam, or at least in this case, it's promenade cam. So this, I believe, was from our last cruise, and I know you guys love the ocean as much as we do, and so we love to bring you a little bit of this every time we go live. So that being said, are we ready for the news? Because there is a ton of it this week, so let's get into it.
Here's the latest cruise news with your host, the Tall Man.
All right, so news story number one. MSC becomes the first cruise line to use shore power at a Mediterranean port. This was in Malta. We have talked about shore power a little bit. We have a special video coming out about shore power here real soon. And so congrats to MSC for being the first cruise line ever to connect to shore power there in Malta. Next, Celebrity Cruises. Man, they dropped a passenger's luggage into the ocean overboard. It was passenger luggage. It was being loaded onto the ship, somehow fell off, fell into the water. We're just going to go with no one saw it. In the end, this poor passenger was without their luggage for an 11-day voyage. Someone did find the suitcase floating in the channel, recovered it. She will eventually be reunited with it. But yes, luggage has gone overboard. P&O. I don't know if many of you have ever heard of this before, but every once in a while on a cruise ship, something called passenger bingo shows up. And what basically is, it's a bingo card that is not filled in with numbers. It's almost like a scavenger hunt. They put on person wearing sandals and socks. Anyway, on this particular P&O cruise on the Azora, it was actually a rather offensive bingo card, and shame to the person who left these around the ship. So if you ever see one of those, generally it's meant to be a little fun game, but let's not be offensive and or racist, people. Let's just all have some fun and go on a cruise. Holland America announces 15 new shows for its World Cruise and its Grand Cruise. They are coming out with a whole line of new things. It's going to be 4 singers and or 8 singers and dancers doing a variety of different shows on their world cruises. Now, these are cruises that are 110, 20, 25, 30-day cruises. So it's going to be neat to have such a variety of entertainment on these long voyages. Usually don't have that. Guess what? Utopia of the Seas has made it to Port Canaveral. I'm sure many of you have known that. I'm sure you all have been watching. So Utopia of the Seas is sort of groundbreaking. It is the first large or extra large or huge or whatever you want to call it cruise ship to be purpose-built for 3 and 4 day cruises. Utopia of the Seas is, 240-something thousand tons, I think, something like that. It'll be the largest brand new ship to ever cruise on 3 and 4 day itineraries. Congrats to Royal Caribbean, and happy sailing. Carnival, back in the news. We have a bunch of Carnival stories tonight. The cruise ducks are in the news again. This time it's a little different. A passenger saw, some crew members finding the ducks and taking the ducks. And I guess they got a little bit upset about that and made some comments to John Heald. And so John Heald put it up in his blog about should crew members be able to keep the ducks if they find the ducks. And the overwhelming answer is yes, they should be able to keep the cruise ducks. What I want to know is, what do you think? Should the crew be able to keep the cruise ducks? or do you think that should be for passengers only? Leave a comment here below in the live chat, or if you're watching the replay, leave it in the comment below. We do answer all of our comments. By the way, do us a huge favor. If you haven't yet done it, please hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, become part of the Tall Man Clan. It is free to you, costs you nothing. We do all kinds of incredibly detailed cruise reviews, cruise news, and all kinds of cruise-related fun stuff, which you're going to see some of that here tonight. Moving on to the news. Carnival says no fans, no vaping. Sort of. At least that's what the headlines read. The better description is, again, passengers have been complaining about how stuffy some of the rooms can be, and that the rooms should all have fans in there. And I'm assuming they're talking about ceiling fans. And of course, the answer is it's cost prohibitive. I can't 100% agree to that. Cruise fans at that level, or fans, ceiling fans, would be a low cost. But anyway, there are no ceiling fans in cruise ship cabins. And so ultimately, you have to rely on them to provide a boxed fan or something like that. Now, of course, the cruise lines have a limited amount of these. Now, you are allowed to bring an electric fan with you as long as it is under 12 inches. Outside of that, it needs to be battery operated. So there's a little information about fans. As far as the vaping goes, people who vape are complaining that they're being forced into the smoking areas to vape. Vapes are being treated exactly like cigarettes or cigars on Carnival, and you have to go to a smoking area. But they feel that it's, I don't want to say the word prejudice, but it's rough on them because most people who are vaping, they're trying to quit smoking. So you then put them in the smoking area to vape in. I guess the best word I could come up with would be cruel. And so I don't know. I'd like to hear your comments on that as well. What do you think about vaping? Should it be they have a special section for it? Should they be allowed to do it everywhere or the smoking areas? Leave it in the comments below. Moving on, because we got a ton of news here, guys. Okay, Beryl, for the fourth week in a row, we are still talking about Beryl. Beryl hit Galveston hard. It came onshore, Texas coast, about 100 miles south of Galveston. But the northeast side of a hurricane is very strong. It's where tornadoes are. They were really hit hard, decimated their power grid. And still, to this day, a good portion of the island is without power. So if you are going on a cruise out of Galveston in the next week, be prepared for a few things. One, be prepared that the traffic signals may or may not be working. If they are not working, please, 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 please treat it as a four-way stop. Do not go barreling through. Stop, look all ways, and then proceed when it is your turn. Second, if you have hotel reservations, I promise you they are probably not going to be honored for multiple reasons. One, they may not have power. Two, if they do have power, they're housing people that live there that homes have been destroyed or have no power. And three, they're also housing the power companies, employees that are there, putting their power grid back together again. Which, by the way, there's also been some stories out there floating that these linemen are not getting paid. Completely false. Okay, so please, if you're going to Galveston, leave some extra time. Do not go there expecting to have a hotel. Please try to call ahead. You're probably not going to get through because phone and cell service is out as well. So rebook a hotel in Houston or somewhere in between that you can get a hotel and just leave a little extra early to get to the port. The port does have power, but it's on generator power still as of today. So please, 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 prayers for those who are affected here in the United States as well in the other Caribbean islands that Beryl hit so hard. Moving on. Via V. Still not sailing yet. July 20th is the time. Let's see what happens. We'll have an update next week. Moving on, MSC also announces exclusive excursions for the Yacht Club. For those who don't know, on the MSC Seas, Seashore, Seaside, Seascape, they have something called the Yacht Club, which is a ship inside of a ship concept. They also have it on their world ships, the World Europa, and it'll be on the World America, which is coming to Miami in April of next year. Now, the Yacht Club exclusive ship inside of a ship concept, there's restaurants up there and pools, and you only need to come out of there really would be if you wanted to take a shore excursion. Well, they're making that even a little bit more exclusive and offering very small private shore excursions to those staying in the Yacht Club. Now, they are not included. You will have to pay for that. However, they will be not like in big buses. It'll be small vans, limited people. So if you are staying in the yacht club and you want, and they're on sale now, like 150 different excursions throughout their different itineraries, and they're going to be adding more as they go. All right, moving on. The Port Nassau is building a water park, $35 million water park. If you see the picture here on the screen, it's going to be in between the amphitheater and the building out here on the peninsula. And so for those who are going who do not want to leave the port, there's going to be a water park there. Costs are unknown. It has not been listed at this time what it would cost to use the water park, if any. I'm sure there will be a cost, but it's going to be a $35 million project and expected to be up and running late 2025. Okay, Royal Caribbean has adjusted an itinerary in 2025, claiming unforeseen operational challenges. Now, I put this in the news, even though it's off in 2025, because I thought this was a bit strange. Okay, so this is a 4-night round-trip sailing from Shanghai in China, and it was supposed to stop at Jeju Island. Sometimes it's also called Jeju Island. And because of quote-unquote operational challenges, they're having to skip that port. I just don't know what that's all about. I don't know. I know probably you guys have a lot of weird theories out there. I want to hear some of them in the comments in the chat below. And so, again, if you're with us live, leave something there in the chat what you think the reason they have decided, like, what is it, 10 months ahead of time not to go to this island because of operational challenges. All right. Disney has also announced they're building, and I spelt it wrong, the Disney Wish Cals. They're building a new Wish class ship, and it's being purpose-built for the Japan market. And so it's going to be there full-time. It's 4,000 passengers and built just like the Disney Wish, so 140,000 tons. So congratulations to Disney and for those families in Japan. Carnival, some other news. There's been a bunch of bans. If you all, I'm sure you remember the story. On June 6th, there was a big brawl on the Carnival Paradise. There was 15-ish people involved in this brawl. Chairs thrown, broken furniture, all kinds of things. It was all over social media. I'm not going to dignify it by showing any of the video, but ultimately the people involved in that brawl have been banned for life on Carnival. And more than likely, and it hasn't been said, let me rephrase that. Fines have been issued, but the amount of the fines and the names of the passengers have not been listed. All right, cruise ship limitations in both Juneau and Santorini are back in the news again. All right, well, I'm just going to divulge a little bit on this because this is our last news story. The cruise ships are getting bigger, right? So even if there's just 3 or 4 ships in port, instead of having 3,000 passengers, they now have 6,000. So the passenger counts have gone up. So Juneau has been trying to do some limitations, and there's been some challenges. So there was a petition sent out for people to sign, and they didn't meet their deadline. However, they were given another month, and they did. And in this particular case, what they're looking to do is have no cruise ships on Saturday and no cruise ship on the 4th of July. That's what this petition is about, which in my brain and my common sense, I find a little weird, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But ultimately, that's what it is about Juneau at this point. Now, Santorini is also wanting to limit passengers. In fact, in 2018, they signed an agreement to limit it to 8,000 passengers per day. Now, I'm not sure that's actually happening because we were just there a year and a half ago, and I swear there were 5 ships in port that day, and it was a madhouse. So there was definitely, I feel, more than 8,000 passengers. Heck, the ship we were on was 4,000 passengers. So, but anyway, they are in high talks. Clea was there as well, meeting with the mayor and a bunch of other high-level dignitaries, talking about how to continually work with the cruise industry and the locals to make the experience better for everyone. So there you go, everyone. There is your cruise news for this week. There's a ton more, but I didn't want to go through everything, but those were the major headlines for the day. Let's talk about weather for the next week in the Bahamas and Caribbean Basin. Here is the 7-day time lapse. This is, you guys have been watching, should be familiar with this. This just is one of the models that runs that is very, very accurate. And as you will see, there are no tropical storms of any kind developing. If you look down towards the bottom over there, you'll see an L that pops up a couple times. There are several lows that are trying to develop, but in my layman's terms, I believe the wind shear is too strong currently, and it is just blowing them apart, and or the land in South America is tearing it apart. One of the two, but it's sort of down there at the top of South America, kind of Panama area. Okay, outside of that, normal summer weather for the Caribbean. So the big news, I should say, in which I'm so happy about, no other tropical systems expected in the next 7 days, which is great. The people down there need as much time to pick up the mess from Barrow. All right? So there is your weather. So let's say hello to a few of you before we get on to our special guest, right? Hello, Mama Tallman. Mama Tallman, first in the house tonight from steamy hot Florida. Hello, Nurse Tara. She wanted to know where Mr. Tallman is. Again, she'll be with us here as soon as we're done with our special guest. And thank you for the thumbs up, everybody. We appreciate that. Again, don't forget, if you're just joining us, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, become part of the Tallman clan. It is free to you, costs you absolutely nothing. It really does help out the channel. And my lovely wife, Lisa, who you'll meet in a minute if you've never met her, will be with us. We both thank you so much. Okay. Bev, hello. Bev Jewel from Ontario. I think it's just kind of hot everywhere right now. I think we can all agree on that. Patricia, welcome. Mama Tallman says, we keep hoping for rain, showers all around us, but nothing at the house. Yeah, I know. What's up, bro? Hey, Mark. Yo, what's up, man? How you doing today? Can't wait for the news. Well, we just did it, and we got a special guest coming. I think you're going to like that. Because don't forget, we also got Are You Kidding Me coming, which I know is your favorite. Oh, no. Oh, no, Mr. Bill. Oh, I got to have something for that. Oh, no, Mr. Bill. That's about Mr. Bill. Okay, where are we? There we are. Okay. All right, so let's see here. Patricia says, the cruise line better buy full wardrobe and more for that customer. Yeah, if you didn't read the full story, so it was sort of an ongoing saga. Young gal, she's a photographer, lives in Colorado. She was traveling with her family. I'm not sure of her age, but based upon her videos and things, probably 18 to 21-ish, somewhere around there. She's a photographer, and all her stuff was in there. Of course, she had her medicine in there, her drugs, right, her medication. Some family jewels were in there, things that you just should not put in your luggage, and gone. So at first, they gave her the standard little, very little. And so she took to TikTok. She's got a TikTok account, and ultimately she got a ton of views, came, of course, up to celebrities. So then they upped their amount of what they were giving her. So ultimately, it wasn't celebrity who found her luggage. It was some other person, random guy and or gal, sees the luggage floating in the canal, picks it up, sees her luggage tag, calls her, leaves a message. She happens to turn her phone on, I don't know to check, because she had an air tag in there. And of course the air tag was dead because it's all wet. But anyway, she heard the message from this person. Ultimately, that also gets to celebrity, and 3 videos later, and she's getting $1,000. She's got some couple of specialty restaurants, spa treatments, and a few other things. But part of the insult to injury on top of all of this, that she gets off the ship to buy some clothes, right? And brings them back to the ship, wears them, sends them off to laundry, and the laundry lost 2 pairs of her new jeans. So it just insult to injury. So they're taking care of her now, but it took a few videos to get there. I'll say that. Macrina says, finally made it. We just went live for me. Oh, okay. Well, welcome, Macrina. Hello. Welcome. Finders keepers for the ducks. I agree. The crew should keep them too. Macrina's like, let the crew have some ducks too. They deserve some happiness. Absolutely. The crew deserves to get in on the cruise duck fun. People just love to campaign about anything. I know, Nurse Tara, right? I just, that's why I think you guys like Are You Kidding Me so much. So it's fun to read some of these things. And of course, Macrina says hello to Tara and to everybody else. Bev says, I have never needed a fan. The AC has always been more than cold enough for you. Same thing for me and Lisa. We have never, ever needed the fan in the room. With the exception, if we're doing a live show and we have the door open for balcony cam, man, I would kill for a fan at that point because it gets bloody hot in there. Because again, all the AC turns off and it gets real hot in the room. But that's because we have the door open because we have balcony cam out there. Outside of that, we've always been either perfectly comfortable with the heat if it was cold, or perfectly comfortable with the AC if we needed it because it was hot. But others I guess don't have that. Well, plus, there's a lot of people who actually sleep to the noise of a fan. That oof, 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 oof. That's the case. Maybe you need to bring it. But some people again argue, but what if we fly and we got to put it in the luggage? And it's just another argument. Hello, Dr. Cherie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Charlene. Welcome from the Midwest. And Ozan from Turkey. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. Lisa will be with us in just a couple minutes. I'm sure she will say hello. Yes, no, I'm just alone for a couple of minutes. In fact, I have a special guest that's supposed to be coming on. I'm not sure if he's here, but hang on. We're going to do things a little bit different. Give me a second. I gotta switch a camera up here real quick. Hang on.
Hey, tall man.
What?
You promised I could help after the weather.
Okay, fine. But get off my shoulder. Let me get you a seat. Hang on, everybody. Okay, E.T., you're throwing a weights.
Really? A roll of paper towels?
Stop complaining. It's the best I could do on short notice. Can we get started now?
It's about time.
Yeah, and be nice.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Okay, fine, I promise.
Okay, here we go. Number 1. Okay, I am flipping out right now. I'm hearing a lot of different information from different people that have been on this ship. People are stating that it's mineral water, not regular bottled water. They don't have that on the ship. Can someone please answer me?
Whoa, take a chill pill and relax. It's just mineral water. No regular bottled water here. Welcome to the high seas of hydration.
Number 2. Why can't they just add another lifeboat so I can bring my toddler on the cruise?
Aw, seriously? Another lifeboat for your tiny sidekick? I can relate. But sorry, those regulations are tighter than a nun's habit.
Behave.
I am, you killjoy.
Fine. Number 3. It's been over 24 hours since my email was delivered to the CEO about the abysmal coffee on my last cruise, and I have yet to receive a response. Looks like Princess will be losing a customer.
Aw, did the CEO not jump at your coffee complaint? Clearly, Princess doesn't realize the gravity of your coffee crisis.
Good one.
Thanks.
All right, number 4. We have 2 rooms for our family. I did all the check-in and booking and have higher point status than the other people in my family, but the other room has gotten express boarding. I'm mildly peeved the other room got it and none of them have had anything to do with this trip except for traveling to the cruise.
Aw, poor you doing all the work and still stuck in the slow lane. Guess the cruise line thinks you need more quality time in the line.
You're gonna get some quality time if you keep that up.
What do you expect? Come on, lightweight. Keep it going.
Okay. Number 5. First off, I need to say that a guarantee inside cabin was booked. I knew not to expect anything great. However, we booked 2 guaranteed inside cabins, 2 people per cabin. Imagine my surprise when we got to our rooms and the 2 people who have only cruised a couple of times were given a cabin overlooking the promenade, and the 2 people, one of which is Diamond Plus, got the inside cabin at the front of the ship. I would have thought that Royal Caribbean would be as loyal to the Diamond Plus person as they were to Royal Caribbean. I know that with guarantee you get what you get, and I'm fine with that. But in this situation, I think Royal Caribbean should have upgraded the cabin with Diamond Plus status.
Wow, loyal to Royal and still got the broom closet? I guess Royal's loyalty program is as useful as a chocolate teapot.
Okay, that was a good one, E.T.
Of course it was.
All right, number 6. We Platinum and Diamond used to get some of the best offers and now nothing. Why isn't Carnival considering their faithful customers who've been with them for decades, John Heald? We should be getting better sailing offers and better gifts with our buttons. From a very disappointed Diamond VIFP member.
Decades of loyalty and still no perks? Guess Carnival's loyalty program is as solid as a wet paper towel.
Careful or I'll wet those paper towels and see what happens to you.
Sure you will. Keep going for Pete's sakes. I got a hot date.
Okay. Number 7. I'm booked on a Viking cruise, Pharaohs and Pyramids. I have waited 3 years in order to get the best suite on the ship. The trip is from October 30th to November 14th. I assumed I would get first access to the shore excursions. I particularly wanted the hot air balloon and specific tomb. Today, I received an email confirming my air travel, which was fine, and I decided to check my Viking journey, and the excursions I wanted were listed as sold out. I was furious. I had never received an email telling me to book. I received no satisfaction from the representative except, "I am so sorry." Even her supervisor was no help. They could not tell me if and when an email was sent to inform us to book excursions. I'm not wanting a trip which has cost me a small fortune and not getting to see the main attractions. Has anyone had this problem? How should I handle it? My first inclination is to write the CEO of the company, but that may not be the best route. What does everyone think I should do next?
Writing to the CEO? Absolutely, because I'm sure they're just sitting around waiting for your email and ready to leap into action.
Well, that's the truth.
Exactly.
Moving on. They will not allow a baby unless it is 6 months old before the cruise. My daughter's baby would have turned 6 months during the cruise. We are Diamond Plus and we elevated this up as high as we could, and they would not make an exception.
Imagine thinking your grandbaby's half birthday is more important than maritime law. Adorable and delusional. Did you try calling Aquaman for a favor or just stop at the manager's manager?
Aquaman?
Yeah, who else? Homelander?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Come on, there's only 2 left. Let's go, Slowpoke.
Okay, sheesh already. All right, number 9. The Cheers package just went from 59 and change to 70 and change. But they now say the new higher price includes the service charge. What service charge? I would be overjoyed if they allowed me to pour my own drink. Just another way to make more money. By the way, I'm a platinum member.
You'd prefer to pour your own drink? Genius idea. Maybe they'll let you scrub the decks next and not pay gratuities.
I agree with that one, E.T.
Thanks.
Last but not least, we are on the Grand Princess for our 30th wedding anniversary. When we go past the interactive screens, it will say either Happy Anniversary John or Happy Anniversary Jane, but not Happy Anniversary John and Jane. It's crazy that it doesn't say it to both of us together. We have asked guest services to fix it 3 times, and they can't get it to say both of our names together. I want to get a photo of the screen wishing us both a happy anniversary.
Oh, the tragedy of not having both your names on a screen. How have you made it this far?
Okay, E.T., thank you. Now that I let you help, are you happy?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Now scram so I can get on with the show.
The thanks I get. Scram. Fine. See you, tall man.
Well, there you go. E.T., my evil twin. Hopefully he didn't offend you guys too much. He's been harassing me for weeks to come on here. So anyway, speaking of coming on here, come on, Lisa. Woohoo! Now that we got rid of E.T.
Hey, everybody.
Got to turn it on.
Hey, everybody.
Woo! So yeah. And real quick, we're going to go back through some of the comments, and I will just say this once, okay? Macrina put this up. Yeah, we did hear about the Trump news, but we don't want to really talk about politics in here. We talk about pretty much everything else. But yes, for those who didn't know, somebody shot at Trump today, actually hit him in the ear. He's okay. Secret Service got involved and took care of the situation, but I do believe someone else was shot and killed. And so... not the greatest of news, but we just typically don't talk about politics in here because some people like them, some people don't, and we are Switzerland. Okay.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers go out to the person and the family involved, though.
Yes,
definitely.
So, all right, so let's get back to some of the comments. Okay. Oh, Macrina obviously likes E.T. I'll let him know. Oh my G. Antonio, welcome to the show, buddy. Good to see you again tonight. He loves the evil twin. Yeah, E.T.'s he's got a bit of a personality.
Yeah.
The little tall man and the big tall man. Ozan likes it too, and he's crying. Mama Tall Man says, back to your your transfer days, and she corrected it and says teenager a little bit later. Bev thinks he sounds a little like John Heald's alter ego, Bob. I think we all have probably an ET in us. So
I think we probably all do.
So, but I'll let him do the dirty work from now on, maybe. And Antonio says the lady missing her coffee email probably thinks the ship was named after her, Princess.
Maybe.
Mark obviously loves E.T. and Patricia thinks we need to see more of E.T. So, okay.
All right.
So,
there you go.
E.T. Is making a splash here. We'll have to let him know.
Yeah, we'll see if we can con him into coming back again.
Yeah, well,
I don't think that'll be a problem.
I don't think so either. He was the one bugging us.
That's true. That is true.
Bugging me. So, tonight's news, we'll back up a little bit. I can't remember all of it, so I'm just going to bring it up because I know I wanted to talk about some of it. MSC becomes the first cruise line. No, that wasn't it. Celebrity drops the passenger luggage overboard. We did talk about that a little bit. Bingo card, we talked about that a little bit. You know what it was? I think it was the Royal Caribbean thing, right? So Royal Caribbean announces that they're going to be changing an itinerary for something that's like forever from here, right? And it's just a 4-day cruise, and they're going to skip this island. The island can take 2 cruise ships. It's kind of like the Asian Hawaii is kind of what it's called, Jeju Island. And it's such a
vague description of
operational challenges.
Yeah.
Challenges that can't be fixed in 10 months. 8-9 months.
Maybe it's like a lease agreement or something. I mean, that could be considered an operational challenge. I don't know. It just is so vague.
Yeah,
it could be anything.
It could be anything. So I don't know. What do you all think? It just seems really strange.
It does, doesn't it?
So Macrina's like, I agree. I took down my comment. Let's stick to cruising. It's okay, Macrina. And again, look, it's an election year, and you got people on the left, and you got people on the right, and you got Trump supporters / haters or haters, and or Biden supporters and haters. And this is not the first time somebody's taken a shot at a president and or ex-president. So it's a shame that people can't share their views other ways. But ultimately, I thank you for bringing it up. At least it's been mentioned. And I also thank you for taking it down. Anyway, and Nurse Tara saying hello.
Hello.
Mama Tallman says, thank God I didn't raise E.T. too. No.
I think you might have partly.
Yeah.
I think you probably saw a little bit more of that.
Yeah, I think E.T.'s a little bit of her too.
Yeah, maybe. Love you, Mom.
Absolutely. So, yeah, E.T. was fun.
Yeah.
If you guys are just joining us late, do us a huge favor. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe, by the way. Speaking of thumbs up, thank you all so much.
Yes, thank you.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, E.T., just scroll back. You'll see E.T. He was a special guest on here tonight. And everybody thinks E.T. needs to come back. So we'll see what we can do about that. Antonio wants to know, do you think Danny Mac has an evil twin?
Oh, we know he does.
I think he is his evil twin.
I think we all have an evil twin.
Yes. Yeah, of course we do. Anyway, so hopefully everybody had a good week. We were talking, again, I did talk sort of at length about Galveston when I brought that up in the news. And the one thing that I brought up was the linemen not getting paid. There's a lot of rumors out there about the people that have come into town from out of town, power workers, the linemen, to fix the power grid, that they're not getting paid, which is why it's taking too long. Now, I'm going to give you some past experience of ours, right? We from Central Florida, we are experienced with hurricanes, right? Many times. And what was that first one that came through and took everybody by surprise? Year we had 3.
It was Charlie.
It was Charlie.
Yeah.
So Charlie was the first big one to cross Central Florida in a very long time. And what happens is people get complacent. Trees grow up. Stuff goes over the power lines. And our power grid in Central Florida, well away from the coast, was torn up pretty bad. We were without power for 8 days that first time. Okay? And it wasn't because the guys weren't working. And that's how I think this rumor started, because they think these guys aren't doing something, or they see some guys that aren't working instead of working. Well, they're human beings. They deserve to have a break, lunch, dinner, a nap, or some sleep time or off time.
And they're working in very dangerous situations.
Yes.
Yeah, a little decompression would be a really good thing.
Yes. And so I don't know who started the rumor. Shame on them for doing that. But the linemen, according to the article we read from the local power company, that it's complete hogwash, that these people are indeed getting compensated. And so when you have a power grid that is completely decimated, it doesn't come back overnight.
That is very true. And typically I think they start with the larger subdivisions, because if you have, a subdivision that's got, 700 houses that you can fix compared to, some.
In their case, it's even further than that.
Well, that's true.
They actually have to build the main lines back before they can get to the branches.
That's true too.
Right. The picture that we showed up, I mean, it's just it's down everywhere. What I'm more shocked about, to be honest with you, is the fact that there was so much damage there, because, Galveston is right out there. This is not their first hurricane.
No, it's not.
And they get them, I don't want to say regularly, but often. But the damage was very widespread. Now, of course, you go into Houston, they had horrible flooding. And so Beryl was just a storm that
just a meanie.
My guess is they'll probably retire that name.
Yeah, maybe he just, the hurricane that kept on and kept on and kept on and just would not give up.
Just not go away.
Yeah.
Did you guys feel anything in the Midwest from Beryl, right? Because you remember it was going to go, up towards Michigan, the remnants of it, if you will. So I know I feel the front that carried Beryl away came through here in Virginia. It got windy for a couple days. Not like tropical storm winds, but I mean, it was like, okay, where'd that come from, right? Beryl.
Yeah, it was definitely windy.
Yep. So anyway, we are wrapping our stay up here in Virginia tomorrow, which is why we're on today. And we'll be heading to Pennsylvania. And so I think we talked a little bit about it the last time. We're not going to do a live drive this time because we're literally going to be pulling out of here at about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and you'll already be sleeping at that point. So we'll just actually turn the radio on, maybe.
We haven't done that on a drive in a while.
No. So anyway, let's get some comments going here. Bev says probably the Platinum and Diamond Texan who still don't have power. Can't understand why people in steerage got their power back first.
That's funny.
Do the people in the suites get their own lifeboat?
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Patricia said they got loads of flooding in Toronto. Yeah,
wow.
It just all the way up there, right? It was no longer Beryl, right? It wasn't even a tropical storm anymore. And but the rain that it brought was crazy.
Wow.
Bev says they got a lot of rain for a day. Puddles where you've never seen puddles in my yard, but it went away quickly. I mean, that's kind of what happens in a lot of Florida. We get very, very, very heavy rains, and there are some areas that are prone to flooding, but it does typically go away very, very fast because we're basically all sand, and so just and goes away. But when it does rain that heavy that fast, it has nowhere to go. It just has nowhere to go.
Yeah, so. And it just collects.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're also for those watching still, we have another video coming out tomorrow, another tips and trick video. I'll put that link up on our Facebook page. If you're not part of our Facebook page, just go to Facebook and look up Tall Man's Cruise Adventures. It's obviously free to join. It's a Facebook group. However, it's going to ask you 2 questions. So make sure you answer the questions or it won't allow you in there. We post some different things in there, and we we've not been posting. We do apologize. We are going to start, I promise. But tomorrow's video is all about cruise ship buffets. So make sure you stay tuned and see that one tomorrow night. So it's going to be a premiere. I think it's 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So anyway, enough of that. You know what else we haven't talked about tonight?
What's that?
Come join us November 8th, 2025.
There'll be meet and greets,
Parties,
pineapples.
ducks, and of course the live shows.
Don't miss our first ever group cruise. We'll see you on the horizon. There you go. Yes, and the countdown is up there. 482 days, 18 hours, and some minutes before our group cruise, our very first ever group cruise. If you want to join, again, I'll put the email up there for you again. Just send me an email. We are not travel agents if you're new to the channel, so we didn't create this group to make money off you guys. We just want to hang out with the Tall Man Clan. Maybe we can get ET to go with us. Anyway, just send us an email. We have an agent that I've worked with for a decade and a half. And Chris or Kathy, they will take care of it and book you into the group. You do need to book into the group, okay? So you can't just show up, but it's 8-day Southern Caribbean going to Curacao, Bonaire, Aruba, down in the Southern Caribbean.
So looking forward to
I
it.
know,
Yeah.
I am too. So yeah, just send us an email and come on the cruise with us. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Macrina, your answer is yes. That is where we're going to be. Okay. Antonio says you can visit Macrina. Yeah, we'll maybe. Less than 69 weeks. There's a reason why we're driving in the middle of the night. It's because we have no day. We used to have a week in between this event before we needed to be in Pennsylvania, but this event shifted a week, and so now we have zero time. So we have to be there Monday morning to start doing what we need to do for this event. And so we'll see. I don't know. Maybe. Macrina, you know how to reach me. Everybody knows how to reach me. It's right there. Just right there. Anyway.
That's right.
Group cruise, that is correct.
Yay.
She says, yay, I have a vacation day Monday. Drive by for some coffee and popcorn.
Thanks for the invite.
Yes, but Monday, unfortunately, we are booked. Wednesday, maybe a little time. Maybe. Yeah, because, it's going to be nuts. It's going to be a crazy few days. So, anyway. So there you have it. What else in the cruise news? You guys are really quiet tonight. So
You guys are. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, for such a busy cruise week, man.
Yeah.
Right?
All kinds of things going on.
I know. And one thing I'm so distraught about is I haven't watched any videos on Utopia yet, so I'm looking forward to diving in and seeing what that looks like. I'm surprised Chris isn't on here,
True.
Yep, 'cause
Yeah.
he's usually in there.
He loves, he's definitely loyal to Royal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I potentially had an invite, but I can't, like everything else, I can't be in two places at once. Maybe I could have left ET here and then I could have went. I don't know. She can't handle him for more than a couple minutes.
No.
Macrina says, by the way, I love the ABC itinerary.
Me too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so weird because we've done Eastern and Western again, just, I don't know, so many times, but we've only done the Southern maybe 3 or 4 times.
I was going to say 3.
Yeah.
But it may have been 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we love, well, we just did it again. We're on Princess. We were on a 10-day. So that was Southern Itinerary.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's the 4th.
okay.
Or, anyway.
I'm just thinking, Aruba and Curacao.
Yeah.
Curacao, yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun to go back there.
Oh, yeah.
Really.
Definitely.
Love it. Love it. Love it. So, yeah, but it's a time thing, right? So most cruises, it seemed to be just for the longest time. It was 347, 347, 347, 347. And now there's, I feel, a much more variety of cruising. There's 5 days, there's 6 days, there's 8 days. In this case, it's an 8-day cruise out of Miami, it being the southernmost port out of the United States, and it's just enough time to get down there, do the 3 islands, and get back. So it's 2 days at sea, the 3 islands, and then 2 days at sea back. So, yeah, it's gonna be fun, really. So, yeah, we're looking forward to it. Patricia's
Yes, we
like,
are.
we are focused, focused. Yes. Send E.T. to visit Macrina. She can't handle E.T.
Oh, yeah. Macrina,
Yeah.
boy, she would whip him into shape, I think.
E.T. sassy. He reminds me a little of Deadpool, but
True, he does, doesn't he?
I made him promise he wouldn't use 4-letter words because it's one thing if I let something go because I got my finger on the button and I can I can bleep me,
yeah,
but I don't know what's going to come out of his mouth.
that's true.
I
That
don't
is true.
promise he was going to behave, and he mostly behaved. Mostly. So I apologize up front sometimes for them, but it is what it is. Bev's like, needed this tonight. The reason I first cruised and met Patricia died today. Our friend Richard Simmons. Richard Simmons, like the exercise dude, Richard Simmons?
Oh,
Really? I thought he claimed he was perfectly healthy like 2 months ago when people were thinking he was dying.
I really, I don't know. Let's look that up and see if it is indeed the Richard Simmons.
Yeah,
Wow.
he died today at 76.
Wow. Yeah, that makes me sad
One
too.
day after his birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, he had put out a message again a month and a half, 2 months ago on his TikTok, Instagram, one of his social media accounts about I forget what it was about, but it was really pointing towards death, and it set off like this storm of media, and his publicist came on and says, "No, I can assure you, Richard's alive and well." And then he came on later and said, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be taken that way. No, everything's great." And so to have him pass away like a month and a half, 2 months later is like, wow.
Yeah, he had such a great sense of humor, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, he was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Bev says, yes, Richard Simmons.
Oh, yeah, that is sad news.
Yep. Wow. Okay. So, yep, we lost a wonderful friend. He had an accident.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, let me catch up here. Hang on.
Oh my.
It was just his 76th birthday yesterday. Legendary fitness guru Richard Simmons died on Saturday at the age of 76, according to a report. His housekeeper contacted police after finding him just before 10 a.m. Saturday, according to TMZ. Simmons was pronounced dead at the scene. His cause of death is not immediately known and has not been announced. Okay, this will come out, later on in life, or later on, they'll talk about it. So who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always sad. So yeah, crazy day. Richard Simmons passes away. People taking pop shots at Trumpy, and it's ridiculous.
Man.
Yep, Southern. Yep. Bev says you should watch the Who's Line episode with Richard Simmons. Hilarious.
I've seen it. Yes, it is.
he had been retired for 10 years and was making a comeback. Daily posts on Facebook and chats on his website. No, okay, there you go. What's up, EM74? How you doing, buddy? Hello, tall man and wife. Long time no see. Hope all cruisers here are doing well today. Yeah. I mean, some of the other things in the cruiser news we didn't mention is because of Galveston and other barrel-related stuff, there's been some shortened cruises, some ones that are longer because they couldn't get back to Galveston and things. And so just everybody, please, 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 for the next week, maybe even 2 weeks, it's going to be at least another 10 days, they're predicting, before all the power is restored back there in Galveston. Now, the cruise ships are moving currently normal because they have generators in the port and they're moving now. But everybody, please, 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 just take a deep breath if you're going to Galveston. Please prepare ahead of time. Know that you're not going to have a hotel, more than likely, if it's in the next week, and just you're going to have to deal with it. It's just going to be part of the adventure that is going to be your cruise, right? And make this is like here we're talking to some people here a week or so ago about expectations, right? If your expectations are this and this is perfection, right? Just bring it down here. I don't mean that the cruise is going to suck and the food's going to be bad and the ship's going to sink and catch on fire. No, I just mean, look, there's going to be some detours, right? And things that you're going to have to go through because the only thing none of us can control is Mother Nature. And since hurricanes hit the coastlines the worst, and the coastlines are typically where the ports are, in this case, it happens to be Galveston. So it'll be back to normal. Your cruise is going to go on just fine. Just getting there, it's going to be a little bit more. Right, so none of the cars, by the way, that were there were flooded. There was no flooding in any of the parking structures there at the port. That was all just inland a little bit more, and so that's all good. But anyway, moving on. So good to see you, EM74.
Yes, absolutely.
So who's the special guest? E.T. E.T. You saw E.T. I don't. Come on, Macrina. Keep up with us.
Yeah, his evil twin. That was our special guest.
Evil twin. But scroll back. I know you were watching him, Macrina, because you commented. For anyone else, we had a special guest, E.T. Just scroll back, watch it. He's a trip, that guy. Richard Simmons seemed to be a caring individual. Yes, he was very much so.
Yeah.
Yes, Macrina, not judgmental, and loved everyone who crossed his path. Gave the best hugs and kisses. Nice. If you don't mind me, Patricia, how is it that you knew Richard Simmons? How did you come to know him? Bev says he was a real sweetheart. Yes. Awesome. I'd love to hear that story.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So, oh God, who was the biggest sweetheart star I know? God, I don't know. God, I just don't know. Never spent a ton of personal time with everybody.
No, that's what I was just going to say. The other people that
20,
I've
30,
met,
40 minutes or whatever. And
yeah, I'd say that any of the people that I've met, I have become friends with. It was just, a nice acquaintance.
Yeah, yeah.
But I have never become friends with anyone, any celebrity.
No, I spent the longest time with James Earl Jones, but it was just not babysitting, but I was just there in case he needed something. So it wasn't, not like I call him. Excuse me. So yeah. Anyway, again, we appreciate each and everyone for being here tonight. We are going to keep this a little bit shorter than normal. We're going to hang with you for a little bit longer because I know there's some people coming in now. But we're going to call it a little bit quits. We've got dinner still to eat, and tomorrow night when our event is done, we're packing up. We have our whole RV, all this gear that we're using. Right, it's all got to be packed up, and so we have a lot of work to do tonight before we can even get to bed and then get back up at the crack of dawn tomorrow and then work all day and then break it down and then drive all night and then set it all back up. So, yeah, lots of stuff. So, anyway, Bev says Richard hosted 30 Cruise to Lose cruises. All right, so it was one of his cruises. So you didn't know him personally, but got to know him personally through doing his Cruise to Lose. Very cool.
Very nice.
And honestly, wasn't that groundbreaking? Wasn't he like that sort of like the first ever sort of specialty type cruises?
Yeah, it might have been. It might have been.
I think it was.
He was pretty innovative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so nice for Royal Caribbean to lend their Terminal to Carnival this past week. Rivals, but still doing the right thing. Yeah, we see that a lot in the cruise industry. They're rivals and competitive, but in the end, it's all the same thing. It wasn't it. Didn't that also happen in Norfolk too? Didn't?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't it the Carnival terminal.
Left also was sharing.
I think
Anyway,
it was the Carnival terminal in Norfolk. When the bridge collapsed. They were sharing terminals there as well.
yeah. So, it's a cool thing.
It is,
right? It really
definitely,
is.
yeah.
Now, whether or not they're charging them is another thing.
That's true.
They probably are. So
That's true.
They may not be letting them use it. Sure, our ship isn't going to be here. You can dock. That'll be $50,000.
Somebody's going to pay those port charges, I guess.
Right? Exactly. So, Bev says, I was fortunate to go on the last 6. Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Since the 80s, we called them emails and went to Los Angeles and spent time with him. Excellent. Met Bev and so on. Awesome.
Yeah, what a great story.
They called, then emailed. That is amazing. EM74 says the cruise channel cruising is fun anytime are in Galveston. They are staying in another family member's house. I think Embarkation Nation are affected too. Yeah, there's just a lot of hoo-ha going on down there, and it's great that some of the people who have homes, who have their power back, are opening their homes up to other people. It's just a crappy thing, right? With something like this, because honestly, when I started seeing some of the reports coming in for the damage and stuff, I was honestly shocked because I thought they were, I don't want to use the word more prepared, but more prone to withstand a Category 1.
I thought the same thing,
If it was like the 5 that came across, the Grenadines.
Yes.
Okay, decimated, but
Yeah.
a 1?
Yeah. I really didn't expect the damage to be as severe as it was.
No.
Or the flooding.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
Well,
Houston is prone to flooding, so I guess Houston didn't really surprise me, I guess. But
Yeah. The flooding didn't surprise me because it had been carrying a ton of heavy rain.
Yeah.
And again, it's the quick rain, and it has nowhere to go. And there was a little bit of storm surge on top of that. So.
Yeah, and I guess I didn't take into consideration the storm surge, but yeah, and I was thinking that Beryl was moving so fast that it wasn't going to have time. Like some of the other storms, like Harvey just kind of hovered for a while. And I thought Beryl was moving more quickly than that, I guess.
McCrea's like, I was joking. I know, E.T. I was just trying to be funny.
We thought you were losing it for a minute there.
I know. EM74 is like, enjoy dinner, have a drink. I had pizza and wine. Tonight we're having spaghetti.
Yeah.
A
Italian
pasta
night.
It is Italian night.
Yes, I love it.
Antonio, we're having. Yeah, I know he's Spanish, not Italian, but Antonio, we're having pasta. Our dear friend from Italy, his name's Fabio. His dad's name's Antonio. So anytime I see the name Antonio, I just Italiano. Anyway. I know you may not know the exact cruise, but what ship are you planning to cruise later this year? That's not going to work.
Yeah.
You guys keep on trying to get in and find out what we're doing. We don't know yet.
Yeah, we haven't.
We just,
yeah.
we're looking at Carnival, Princess, NCL, MSC. We're looking at a bunch of different things. So we got to get by another 2 to 4 weeks before we see if things are going to be good enough to go. So Ian's like, Houston was okay. Yeah, Houston overall, yes, but just a ton of flooding from the rain.
A lot of water.
So the power grid isn't down, but they lost a bunch of power there too. I think at one point there was like over 1 million people without power sort of in the area. So, I mean, just, wow. I mean, Beryl just took a huge, just what a punch. Just,
He was mean.
yeah. That right?
Don't like Beryl.
No. God, if that was my name, I'd have to change it.
Right?
Yeah. I feel sorry for all those Katrinas out there.
I know. I felt the same way about Katrina.
Yes. But yeah, Antonio, we just don't, honestly, we just don't know. We have an Excel spreadsheet where we have stuff sort of laid out, and it just is a matter of, okay, we've made this much money, we can do this many, we can do this many, or we can do this many. Right? I mean, it's all correlated. Like we've been very honest with you guys. We obviously we still work for a living. We've told you that many times. Cruise lines don't give us anything. We don't have major sponsors or anything yet, and so the cruises are on us. So every ship we go on, our pocket.
And it is still early in our season, so we just have zero ideas right now.
Yes, because we still have $0.
True. We're still making up for the last cruises we did.
Yeah. Well, look, we ended up being off nearly 3 months, and so
that's a long
it's
time.
normally, it's normally a 4-month, 2-month, 4-month, 2-month, but our schedule beginning of the year kind of got a little squirrely, and we ended up being closer to 3 months off, and so bills still have to be paid, right? So.
Yes, they do.
Yep. EM74 says, my French family is in Rome for quite some time now because they all moved there years ago. Yeah, our friend, he lives in the very, very far south of Italy in an area called Reggio de Calabria. You can actually see Sicily from their beach. It's far south, right? And so Fabio. And I'm not talking about the long blonde hair Fabio. This is a different Fabio. We'll introduce you to
Long
Fabio.
dark hair.
Yeah. When for those coming on the group cruise, Fabio's not going to be there, but we'll share some videos that I can't put out here, but I've got tons of stuff. So anyway, you get to meet Fabio. Yep. Raccoon says, I lost it a long time ago.
So did we.
If you haven't figured that out yet, ET, right? And Turner's like, I just thought there's a ship you hadn't cruised yet that you want to go on sometimes.
Oh, there's many.
Yeah. As many cruises we've been on, of course, we started cruising a long time ago, right? Some of those ships are either gone and or have changed names, like we were on
The Triumph.
The Triumph, which has a different name now, right? And we were on another one, which has now got a different name, isn't it? So anyway, but we didn't video any of those, so we would probably go on it again and video it again. So, there's a bunch of them. When it comes to the MSC stuff, at least here in America, we've now been on the Seas as well as the Magnifica. What we haven't been on is the other M ship. I'm trying to think of it.
Who MSC?
Yeah.
Another MSC ship that starts with an M?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Oh, Meraviglia. Is that what the one you're
Meraviglia,
talking
yes,
about?
the Meraviglia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we haven't seen the Meraviglia yet. And so, yes, our goal will be to go on ships we have not gone on. That's what we want to be doing because, of course, bring the reviews to you guys, as well as the detailed deck plan tours that we actually do and create for you guys and the rest of the industry. And so we can't do that from here. We got to do it from the ship. And so, yes, we'll trying to go on ships. One of them, honestly, we'd like to try to get on the Horizon because we spoke before that we'd like to try to get on it before the group cruise so that we can get the tours that we really want to get done ahead of time, as well as, scope the ship out so I can figure out what we're going to make you guys do. So.
And that way we'll have plenty of time to spend with you guys and not be trying to, break up our time between you guys and videoing the ship.
And don't worry, we're going to have a 3 a.m., conga line and tour. Don't worry about this.
Thank you.
It's been a while. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Right? There you go. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Yes, thanks for the thumbs up, guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah, so Antonio, it's the ships were like, we won't go on the Jubilee again, or we won't go on Celebration. Of course, we've been on it 3 times now, so it'll be ships that we haven't been on. So we just, and we got a long list of them.
We haven't been on any NCL ship in a long time.
Yeah.
That's huge on our list because,
Holland America, we haven't been on a long time.
No.
We've only been on 2 celebrity ships, and we want to get back on some more of their
And
Edge class
just
ships.
one Princess ship, and it was an older ship. We need to get on their newer
On
ships.
their newer ships, the Sun Princess. And
Yeah. So
Yep.
we've got a huge, long list.
Yep, absolutely. So, come on, guys, subscribe, watch the videos.
Pass them around for all your friends to
Yes.
watch because the views is what's really going to help us.
Absolutely. Actually, send ET to everybody. I may cut this up and just put ET out as some shorts or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I think everybody will love ET. I hope so. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
If not, I know you guys do, but Anyway, Karina says, I would love to see you both go on the Queen Victoria or Mary. I hope big for you both. You deserve it. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank
You get some
you.
applause for saying that.
Thank you.
Look, we are just going to do what we do. And it's going to take the time that it takes. It's just that
Exactly.
simple. And so when we say those things, it's not a complaint. It's not even a begging. It's just we're just running our mouths. That's what we do. But we feel one day the channel will get there. It's just time. We hit 1 million views like just after last Sunday's broadcast.
Yeah, that's right. So thank you guys.
Yeah.
1 million views. Woohoo.
14-month-old channel hit 1 million views. That
Yeah.
is amazing.
I'm so excited about that.
These days with so many options of things to watch on YouTube. So we do, again, want to thank everybody that has watched any of our videos out there. So
We
thank you so
certainly
much.
do. Yes, thank you.
Patricia's like, we bet a conga. Zum bum 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 bum. Zum bum 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 bum. Zum bum 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 bum. Come on, baby, do that conga. No, we can't show self any longer. Yes, the Maravilia. Yep, thanks.
Yes.
Seems very, very fancy, judging by the pics in the video of the ship inside. Anyone's opinion. Again, we are very strange when it comes to ships we haven't been on. We purposely try not to watch anything because we want to go in there sort of with a clean slate, no predetermined images in our brains of anything. So we have been on the seaside, the seashore, the seascape, and the Magnifica, and we absolutely loved all three of them. They were all the sea ships were obviously very similar because they had the same
They were all
floor
sister
plan.
ships,
They're all
yeah.
sister ships, but the decor was uniquely different in each. The passengers cruising on them were also interestingly unique on all of them because where they were sailing from, which we found interesting. And then the Magnifica, completely different ship, much smaller than the sea ships, and we enjoyed that immensely as well. We just enjoy MSC, guys. We really do. So I know there's a lot of you that don't, and we're sorry. I don't know what transpired for each of you. If you had been on them years ago, maybe try them again, because boy, have they come a long way based upon the stuff that we've now seen.
Yeah, I would agree. We didn't sail on MSC when they first came over. Like Robert said, we just recently have been on them. And we went in knowing they had a lot of bad press. And that's why he said, we wanted to go in, with open minds, a clean slate, and just kind of take it all in. And every time we go on an MSC ship, we see improvements
Yeah.
every time. And so
Food, staffing.
yes. And so I really do feel that they are working hard to change their image and to be more
U.S. friendly for the ships here.
yes, more U.S.
Yeah.
friendly. Yeah.
You know, interestingly enough, and I see this in their bookings, right? Because we've talked about this before. In Europe, and this is the problems I feel they had when they came here. If you hadn't watched any of our other videos when you talk about it, we'll just talk briefly about it here and now. In Europe, a lot of the cruising there is what are called open looped cruises. Okay? 7-day itinerary. It stops at 7 different ports. At each port, people get off that have been on for 7 days. New people get on. So that's their starting point. The next day, it's now day 1 for those people, but it's the last day for somebody else, and they get off. So it's always, every day is always day 1 on the ship, because people, 300, 400, 500 people get on and off, right? And so there's never been really big sail away parties because it's always day 1. Shows weren't a major thing because it's so port intensive and the ports are so close that the entertainment, a lot of it is off the ship, right? So their shows were never really, really huge, big, this, that, or whatever. It was more about the destinations, right? So they come over here to America and we cruise differently, right? And so
We do.
though the ships have now really grown into destinations themselves, you're always going to have a couple days at seas, but more importantly, most of them are closed loop cruises where you start at this port and you end in the same port, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever days later. And so there's a starting point and an ending point for everyone getting on the ship. But where I was going with this is when I look on their website or say Vacations to Go or whatever, they are always pairing itineraries up. You can either do, which gets me back to sort of where I feel their roots in Europe, that sort of a continuation. So they offer, 10, 12, 13, 14 days or whatever, but basically it's sometimes 2 or 3 cruises individual cruises that you're booking as one, right? And so it's just sort of that same mentality,
I think it
right?
is as well. Yeah.
But oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say we would consider that a back to back, but they have lumped it together as one cruise.
Right. And so now that they're learning how we sort of do cruising here and close up cruises, they've changed their entertainment has gotten better. Their crew staff has changed, right? They're actually, they're stealing away some of the Carnival cruise directors, right? On the Magnificat was Reverend Dr. Reverend Dr. E, and so things are just shoom, and we've talked about it in news I think a couple weeks ago. MSC's goal is to become the largest cruise line in the world, and they're fastly getting there, and they're going to continue. And so, try them. To answer the fancy question that EM said, I don't. There's a lot of glass. MSC uses mirrors.
They do a
Not
lot
glass.
of reflective surfaces.
And so there's a lot of shiny, right? Because there's a lot of mirrors. And some people may feel or take that, if you will, to be fancy. I don't know. I didn't feel that ship was any fancier than any other, like the Celebrity, the Reflection we were on. I didn't think it was fancier than that. Would you?
I don't necessarily think I would say fancy, but I think their decor is it is more, I think, like a European, like an Italian themed interior decor.
But very
They
modern.
use a lot of it is, but they use a lot of granite and a lot of marble and surfaces like that, and we don't necessarily use surfaces like that in the States.
Or like you would see on Carnival ships don't have that.
No.
Right? In Royal Caribbean ships, if you will, don't have that. So maybe I've always said it's a premium cruise line like Celebrity, but charging a contemporary cruise or a Carnival type price. So you're getting, and again, in our opinion, a Celebrity cruise experience from the food, the service, and these things, but you're paying a Carnival price.
Yeah.
That has been our experience on the now 6 cruises we've done with them in less than a year. November was the very first time we sailed on them. And we so blown away, we booked more immediately. So that's how much we enjoyed them. Anyway, Macrina says, Antonio's walking the plank.
Yes, he is.
Brother Roderick, what's up, man? Welcome. How
Yes,
you
welcome.
doing? We appreciate the welcome. We are doing both great. Hopefully you are doing good as well. Good to see you. Make sure you scroll back. We had a special guest on tonight. You're going to love him. I'm not sure if I know how. You go first so I can see how it's done.
Walking the plank. Oh, my.
Oh, the two of you are so bad. That's why you're both walking the plank.
Exactly. We'll make you walk together.
Bev says, maybe we could let you out of walking the plank if you were to dance on the table in the dining room like Richard Simmons used to do every cruise. Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, he can do that. Not big on planks. You could throw overboard like the luggage. Oh, speaking of which, maybe we should, and it's late, and most of you watching already know this, but if you're new to cruising and you're with us this late into the video, please, guys, do not pack anything valuable in the suitcases you hand to the cruise line. Don't put any money in there. Don't put any jewelries in there. Don't put any of your medications that are 100% necessary. Take all of that stuff in a carry-on, in a backpack, something. Carry that with you. Why? Because accidents will happen. Luggage doesn't get lost on purpose. Luggage doesn't get dropped overboard on purpose. Luggage doesn't get put in somebody else's cabin on purpose. These are accidents, okay? But it happens, and it happens every cruise. And so I think it would have been a little less traumatic for this particular person on the Celebrity ship that lost her luggage if she didn't have her medications and her
Jewelry
family
and
jewels in
cameras.
there.
Yeah, her
Okay.
camera equipment.
That's why, we talk about the stuff that we carry on, right? It just, man, we carry any kind of medicines that we need to have with us. We carry all of our camera equipment with our stands, anything that we're going to need to do what we need to do. We are carrying it. Why? Because an accident could happen, and we want to make sure that we have the stuff. So anyway, but yeah. Macrina says, maybe TMC can show us both. No. Ian says, thank you for responding. Absolutely, bro. That's what we're here for. Everybody.
Yeah, we love doing the live because we get to respond.
Absolutely.
We love the interaction.
Ask your questions away, man. There's a lot of people that have a lot of questions out there. And so it's funny. I feel sometimes also this is where some of the are you kidding me stuff comes from, because sometimes people just don't know. Some of them are first-time cruisers that ask silly questions. If you've never cruised before, to me, it's not a silly or a stupid question. You just don't know. You don't know until you know. And so it's one of the reasons why when we were travel agents years and years and years ago, not now, but years ago, we would spend a long time with people that hadn't cruised before, going over things for them, because it can be, oh, thank you. It can, I don't want to say scary, but, and there's not a lot. There's just basic things, right? You know, if you're flying in, if you're coming from a long way away and you're going to fly in the night before. Number one, right? I know it's an extra night in a hotel, but for God's sakes, do not rely on the airlines to get you there on time. You'll miss your ship. 2, don't forget your passports, right? Now, don't, without a doubt. Now, are passports required from U.S. to U.S. port, the same port, like Fort Lauderdale to Fort Lauderdale, or Port Canaveral to Port Canaveral, or Galveston, or whatever? No, they're not required. However, if you're in a port and something happens, you can't get back into the country without a passport. So we always 100% recommend a passport, right? And plan ahead. You can't just go down to the store and get it, right? It's a 3, 4, 5, 6 week process, right? Kind of a thing. So just get your passport ahead of time, right? And then outside of that, it's, right? Pay your gratuity. Just different things. But we love talking cruises. That's why we do our live, and we want to have these questions from you guys. Anyway, Antonio says, so you're saying I shouldn't put my Fabio Speedo No. That can stay home, Antonio. We don't need the Speedo collection. No. Okay. I'm not sure what was that from? Good to see you, Bob. Oh, he's saying that we're good. Hey, Lori. Welcome, hon. How are you?
Yeah.
Look at Antonio wondering what I walked into. Lori, you need to scroll back.
Yeah.
Bring that video back until 15 minutes and start watching. Enjoy. We had a special guest tonight. Yep.
Yes, we did.
You should watch. Anyway. All right. I like the fact that if you don't know an answer while on the ship, you will research and find the answer. Absolutely. Right? That's a huge thing. You know what? Hang on 1 second. Lisa, would you mind starting the water?
Okay.
We're going to let Lisa just go behind the camera for a couple minutes because, we're fine staying, but we're going to have to do multiple things at the same time because, as I said, our clock is ticking. Our time here is limited, and we got a ton of stuff to do. But we enjoy hanging out with you, which is why we pushed the envelope to actually be sure we are actually going to get here. But anyway. But yeah, Patricia, we enjoy the heck out of it, right? A lot of it's because we're learning at the same time. If we know the answer, we give it right away. But if we don't, it's also learning for us to find the answers. And then we can also, that's okay. All right. That gives us help with somebody, being able to help somebody else as well. So it helps us and it helps you guys. So that's what we do. Macrina says, well, you and Little One-on-One can talk. I haven't seen Little One-on-One in a while, so hopefully he's doing well. Just like, I agree. They research and give you the accurate answer. To the best of our ability. Look, have we been 100% right? Nope. We are human. We make mistakes. But if we do, we will cop to it and correct it as soon as we can figure it out. By the way, if you're hearing extraneous noise, again, RVing, we got to turn the fan on over the stove or the alarm above our head goes off. I don't know why. She's going to boil water for pasta, for God's sakes, and the alarm will go off. It's the strangest things. Okay, you'll do it. Yeah, you'll thank me. And everybody's saying hello to one another. Anyway, so yeah, that's also why we like going on new ships too, right? New experiences, even if they're sister ships, right? So, like again, seashore, seaside, seascape, they're all the same floor plan. I knew how to navigate around, but every once in a while, there's like something that wasn't there. The colors are different, the textures are different, the crews are different, the crew's entertainment staff's different. But even though the layout is the same, everything's just different. What becomes comfortable, it's like for us with Carnival, we love the Mardi Gras class ships, right? The XL class ships. We have just gotten very comfortable with those deck plans and the layout of the ship. And we've been on the Celebration 3 times and Jubilee, right? We just enjoy that. By the way, Antonio, I'll gladly answer the question. Yes, the Mardi Gras is on our list because we haven't been on the Mardi Gras. Will we get on it? I don't know in the fall, but that's the goal. Mardi Gras is on the list. Macrina says Antonio's Speedos can be in the suitcase that falls into the brink. Yeah. Overboard. Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. Every single morning, Lisa's making breakfast. We're like bacon, eggs, hash browns, and English muffin. And after every meal, we clean the toaster. There's not a smell of burnt anything. It goes off every day. It's literally right above my head here. And every day, she jumps off the ground when it goes off. And that's with the fan on. So, her pillow, I just sit here and do this every morning. I've never seen such a sensitive smoke alarm in my life. Now, I'm also partially thankful for it, which is why it's still hanging on the ceiling, because I've knocked the battery out of it a couple times, because it can be annoying, which is why she warned me that it could go off. So, anyway, let's see here. Charles says, hey, alarms have feelings too. Yeah, well, this one can kiss my because, yeah, I care. That's why it still has a battery, right? Because what it's supposed to do is go off when there's smoke. And there's not smoke in here. It's going off from smell, not smoke. It's crazy. Anyway, so, but I'm glad you think alarms have feelings too. What about your morning alarm when it goes off? How many of you smash your clock? Hit the snooze button for another 15 minutes. What kind of feelings do you think it has every time you smash that alarm? I don't know. Or do you use your phone these days? Chat. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. I need a quick drink, everybody. Everybody. Hydrate. It's water with grape in it. Yes. Antonio says the Mardi Gras was very cool. On the first night, get a fillet in the Pig and Anchor. At least when I went on there. So interestingly enough, we asked about that on the Celebration and the Jubilee, and they all looked at us like we were crazy. They had never heard of it. So that has to be a Mardi Gras thing. And it may have been for a short period of time. But nobody on the other two ships knew anything about the fillet in the Pig and Anchor on the first night. We asked. I mean, it was crazy. Because I'm like, really? Let's go there. But nope. Mardi Gras is great, but Celebration is my favorite XL class. So here's part of that conversation, right? Exactly the same ship. Exactly the same layout. The only difference, the color scheme in the decor, in the story, if you will, right? Mardi Gras is Mardi Gras. Celebration is a little more Miami, right? A little more Florida. Oh God, it does smell good. Ooh. Anyway, I love me some pasta. It's the sauce she's cooking that I'm smelling. I'm not smelling the pasta boiling. What was I saying? Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Out of the celebration and the Jubilee, celebration is our favorite too. Thus, the reason that we've been on it 3 times. Loved it. So, anyway, here we're gonna. That's our kitchen, and she is cooking anyway. So just moving around so you don't see the trash on the ground. I told you we are packing up things are a mess. Oh, there's the computer. There we go. Okay. So yeah, she's right here for those. But just anyway. Charles says, snooze buttons are never used by me. I would go crazy waking up several times. And you use your iPad to set an alarm. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm 50-50. I'll be honest. Most times I wake up before my alarm. If I set an alarm to get up for whatever, which is to me more frustrating than the snooze button. Like 30 minutes left, and you wake up like, man, 30 more minutes. Come on, man. But yeah, I am more often up before the alarm goes off, which is painful. I don't like the fortune teller bar and the drinks there. Celebration bar and drinks I like more. Okay, Antonio likes the celebration too. Awesome. Patricia thinks you might need to do a cooking segment. Yeah, I don't know. We've already got E.T. now. And y'all want to see more of him. So, oh, by the way, thank you for who just gave that thumbs up. Appreciate you. Yeah, E.T.'s a handful, so I'm not sure. I mean, I can turn the camera around and put the mic back over there with Lisa, and she can talk what she's doing, but she's heating up sauce and cooking pasta. I don't... nothing too extravagant there. Anyway, Macrina says, yeah, the Mardi Gras had the steak on day 1. Yeah, but the others didn't. Yep. Bev says, I usually don't need an alarm. I have a cat. Most mornings I'm up before the alarm too, says Charles. Yeah, I don't know why that is. You know, I go to bed late as it is anyway, and of course I do like to sleep at some point. And so, but there's just some days, you know, I know that I have to get up, I guess, and the body says, hey, you gotta get up. I'm like, but yeah, but it's like 30 minutes from now, man. Just enjoy yourself sleeping for 30 more minutes. And we have the RV blacked out too, because we do run some crazy hours. And so when we are trying to sleep, even if it's 10 o'clock out, it's still pitch black in here. You don't know what time it is outside. So it's not that the light is coming in the RV and waking us up either. That has nothing to do with it. It's just that, I guess, internal thing that you got to get up and do something today, and internal clock, exactly. It's just time to get up. So, speaking of which, Lisa, when you're cooking propane, we never got another bottle. We never got another bottle of propane, so we need to do that at some point too. Sorry. Well, we have 2 20-pound propane, I call them protein tanks, and one of them ran out while we were here, and so we never got another one, so hopefully we don't run out. Hard to boil pasta in the microwave. Anyway. All right, guys. We want to thank each and every one of you for being here. If you joined us late, make sure you go back to the beginning. We covered the news of the week, the weather forecast for the upcoming week, which, in short, looks great for the Bahamas, Eastern, Western, and Southern Caribbean, which is awesome. And we had a special guest on with us tonight, and so make sure you go and watch that. So Lisa and I want to thank you both. I know she would say goodbye, but again, we got to move on here. And we love you all, and we will see you again next week. Be safe.
the stars in the sky. Did we ever stop and wondered why we let our love shine all through the night? Just you and me, babe, until the morning light. The morning